Salutations, this is Grim Devell. Welcome back to our Let's Play of Pathfinder Kingmaker. So you may notice that I've backtracked a bit. I actually replayed pretty much all of last episode, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but we have started back right after I've killed Kalina. So I just killed Kalina, and I did this for a couple of reasons. One, I decided to, I decided not to give Jaethal the feats that I gave her last time. And the other thing is I actually wanted to make another decision with Halda. Now, I feel like this is fair to do. In a tabletop game, when you level a character up, it's usually you have a lot of thought put into it. Usually you have like days, a week, maybe even more time to really think about everything that you're going to put into the next level of your character, and we just don't have that ability here in the CRPG version, so I didn't feel too bad about that. The reason I did that is with Jaethal, I rethought the choices that we made, and I decided that I actually do want her to become a trip master as fast as possible. Even though she can't get tandem trip right now at this level, or even trip right now at this level, I gave her the prerequisite for trip, which is combat expertise. And I also gave her a team feat, which gives her better combat maneuverability bonuses. And I'll show you that as soon as we get back to Jaethal. The other thing is that I wanted to make a different choice here. And I'll show you what we're going to do. So Rigongar, we've already been through all this. Octavia talking to him. And Rigongar asks us what we want to do about Kalina. And last time I said that because Halda wanted to kind of show that slavery is not going to be tolerated and she wanted to kind of make a powerful show, I decided to choose chaotic neutral. She pissed me off. I will finish her myself. But when I was rewatching it, I saw that the lawful evil option, as the future lawful ruler of these lands, I want to practice carrying out public executions, is actually an option a lot closer to what I was saying I wanted to do. So even though Halda is chaotic good, not lawful evil at all, I think that in this particular scenario, this lawful evil choice is the choice that's most close to what I want to do, in that her showing strength, her showing that slavery will not be tolerated. So that's what we're going to do here. Fine, the victor is always right. You performed a lawful evil action. I think our first evil action... Boom, public execution. So that was really the only change story-wise. So we've gone through this, and I think we've already gone through all this. So I'm going to skip through this pretty quickly. What are the Technic League? We've already watched all this. How'd you get captured? I think I just said we have something to discuss. Go to Oleg's trading post. You'll be safe there. Cool. They'll be waiting for us when we return. Excellent. And that's where we left off. So, some differences between last time. So, if you'll remember last episode, on our way to the Technic League, we had a random encounter that we tried to evade but did not successfully do that. This time I had a random encounter, but I did successfully evade it. That's really the only difference. So we didn't get that minor bit of experience points. It's possible some of the little items that we got along the way might be different, like on loot. Like I got a piece of chocolate from someone. Maybe that's different, but pretty much everything is the same. Halda, I leveled up exactly the same. Jaethal's new feats that I gave her are combat expertise, which gives her a -1 penalty on melee attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain a +1 dodge bonus to armor class. When your base attack bonus reaches +4 and every +4 thereafter, penalty increases by -1 and the dodge bonus increases by +1. I don't know if we're ever going to actually use this, but the reason I took it is because it is a prerequisite to getting the trip feat, which in itself is a prerequisite to tandem trip, the team feat. We also get coordinated maneuvers, which is a team feat. You are skilled at working with your allies to perform dangerous combat maneuvers whenever you are adjacent to an ally who also has this feat. And remember, with Jaethal, because she has solo something. What's it? Solo tactics. Any team feat she has, it's as if her party also have this feat. So this actually counts for her, even though no one else has it. Whenever you're adjacent to an ally, you receive a +2 competence bonus on all combat maneuver checks, which increases to +4 when attempting to break free from a grapple. So that will synergize well with trip and tandem trip when we actually get that. For now, not so useful. But one of the reasons I really wanted to do that is because I was looking at the scythe, which is kind of her weapon of choice. And the scythe, it doesn't really show it on here. It doesn't show it on here at all, which again is very frustrating. One of the most frustrating things about the CRPG is how it doesn't tell you special item traits when you look at the item here. But Scythe has the one special ability of the Scythe is Trip. It's not a reach weapon, which I was assuming last time. It is a trip weapon. So because of that, and because I think it'd be really cool to have Jaethal really focus on tripping, that is what I decided to do. So, and again, that's something that you would obviously know if you were playing tabletop and leveling up your character. You would look at the weapons, look at the specialties of those weapons or the special properties, and you would make choices that made sense. We didn't really have the opportunity to spend some time doing that, so I felt okay going back. Next time, though, that we get a level up, I'm going to save it before we do any leveling up, because I had to redefeat that Treant bear, and that was not fun. A Wand of Expeditious Retreat, not the most useful, but we can sell it. Light crossbow, and a magic helmet. Well, a headband of vast intelligence, +2. That is pretty nice. We'll take this because we can sell it for a lot. And I think those were on Cavanagh. We will free these prisoners. Thank you very much. Excellent. I'm going to quick save it here also. I'm going to see if we can open this. We got a book here, Shadows of Absalom by Pax Grumetra. We got a little story here. I don't know if we get any like tips or tricks or hints here regarding the actual world. That's cool. I'll take it. Maybe we can sell it. We get some magic chain shirt here. A chain shirt +1. I'm pretty sure we can use that. I think everyone's been looted. I killed these guys down here pretty much the same way we killed the first guys. Everything pretty much what happened the same way. A lot of food over here. Are there more slaves? No, I think we freed all the slaves. Let's check this out. A bunch more ingredients. Well, actually, a lot of stuff that we can just sell. And this might be... Oh, no, it's not locked. Scroll of Bane. Gold coins. Reduce person. Probably end up selling that. We could give it to Kel, although that would reduce her strength bonus for a composite bow. So this chain shirt, who uses a chain shirt? Does Jaethal? No, but it is medium armor, right? Oh, it's light armor. Really? I think we give it to Len. Armor class 3. 4 max dexterity. Oh, this actually would give you a negative to dexterity. Okay. So not to you. Jaethal's using medium. Kel is using light. But again, that would hurt your dexterity. Dang. I mean, in theory, we could give it to Halda, but with that... Yeah, that makes you medium encumbrance. That's pretty crazy. What about Duncan? Duncan can't wear it. Yeah. We might actually end up selling this. That's kind of crazy. I mean, let's see. We might actually end up replacing this medium armor with light armor. 6 armor class, 5 armor class. Yeah, it would reduce your AC. It would. What about Stormfoot? I mean, you too, right? 5 armor class. Oh. It would be better for you. Excuse me. It definitely would. Because your armor check penalty would be much improved. Great. Enjoy that. Stormfoot's wearing some light armor. Yeah, because barbarians don't wear heavy armor. And light is better than medium. Okay, great. How about this headband of vast intelligence? I think we're going to want to give that to Duncan. Duncan's the one that really benefits from intelligence. You'll get some more... Yeah, you get +6 now, which is pretty awesome. We also got the wand I think we're going to end up selling. It just makes you faster. It's good for running away. You have good weapons here, right? Yeah. That stuff is to sell. We're a little more over encumbered here. We're medium encumbrance now. I think that's okay. I don't think we need to go on dropping stuff. We're going to go back and sell a bunch of this stuff. I always like quick saving it. All right, let's explore. Maybe we can try to find some stuff that we might need perception checks for. See if there's anything hidden around this camp. But we have killed Kalana. We have rescued the slaves from the Technic League. Did someone say something? Did someone spot something? No. And I think those people that those PCs that we rescued are going to be back at Oleg's camp. Okay. Can we go in here? Is there anything in here? In this, like, it looks like a little chasm, a little crater here. Okay, we're not seeing anything. I think we're done here, actually. You got hurt. Jaethal got hurt, so we will have her heal herself. And do that again. All right, you're fine.
Godspeed.
Let's get out of here. I think we haven't actually used a lot of spells.
mistakes.
Duncan used a magic missile. But you still have... What are these from? Because you have one for your spells. What do you have for your... Oh, is it this ring? Yep, it's the ring. I got to remember to use those magic missiles before the other one. Yeah. In fact, we should probably learn a different spell. Next time we rest, maybe we put something besides magic missile here. It might be better to have another color spray. All right. How do we get out of here? Down there. So, we took them out, and we're still doing fine. Medium encumbrance isn't so bad. What are we going to do now? What was our plan? Kalana just had a light crossbow. Yeah, we're good. Let's leave. We got to make some decisions about what we're doing next. I know we talked about what we were going to do next last episode, but this time, I forget. So, well, yeah, we do want to go back to Thornford, although probably not until Lem levels up. We've been to Tuscutter's lair. We could just go exploring. The old sycamore is really the next big thing. The question is, do we want to go back to Oleg's before we do that? The old sycamore is a pretty huge event. And playing on my own, that is as far as I've gotten, is stuff at the old sycamore. I've not played past that point on my own, and I will not. I'm only, at this point, I'm just playing with you guys. That was a while ago, too, so I don't really remember stuff. So do we just kind of explore and go back to Oleg's using a different route? Maybe try to go through here? Maybe? How much time do we have left, I think is a good question. We have 68 days out of 80. We're probably fine. Yeah, Technic League is totally done for now. And Bitter Rival, yeah. Okay. Tartucci might have found his artifact or done something else insidious. Yes. I think it would be great to level everyone up to 3, but I don't know if that's in the cards. No, not you. Yeah, 2,000 experience to do so. Now, we did do the Temple of the Elk, and if we go back to the old, to Oleg's, having done these 2 things, there may be some additional rewards back there. Plus, we can probably get a lot more gold and see what kind of equipment we can get. So let's do it. Let's go back to Oleg's. I think we have plenty of time to do that. We're going to go back some different ways. I'm going to fill that out. Okay. Then return. Although... Actually, go back. What's this way? I'm going to have to camp soon. This is interesting. All right, let's camp. We're going to camp right here because we are tired. Yeah, this is all fine. Oh, the other difference is I didn't get a hearty meal when I rested last time, but that didn't seem to make a big difference. There we go. Easy resting. Oh, and now we go this way. Oh, so we can't cut across there. Okay, wow. That is an interesting way. All right. No, I'm going to enter. Because we did level up a couple of people that do have not deception, what's it called? Trickery. So it might be worth trying to open that chest again. Because we're here. We're passing by. It doesn't take any time. I don't think. So let's just run real quick. I think the chest was all the way down here. Somewhere. Somewhere around here. We'll get down there. And we'll give it a shot. If we fail, we fail. We'll come back later. I think it was around here. Ah, there it is.
Let us press on.
All right. It's letting me try it.
Complete.
Excellent! Lem did level up. I guess we came here at level 1. Or maybe we came here without Lem. That's possible. But yeah, we rolled a 19 on a 15 DC check. So we did get a Scroll of Doom, which is cast on one subject, and it makes them feel dread and shaken. Silver Earring, Scroll of Shocking Grasp. We'll give that to... That's a decent spell for Duncan. Hematite to sell, and some meat. Okay. You know, not... We'll exit back up here. I guess it was worthwhile, why not? We opened it up, and we got experience for opening it, right? No, we actually didn't. It doesn't say we got any experience. I guess I'm used to games... I feel like most Infinity Engine-style games, you did used to get experience for lock-picking things, for trickery checks. That's okay. Back to... Well, no, we're still going to explore some of the roads that we haven't explored yet. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that when I'm at medium encumbrance, but I think it's okay. We've got... I'm pretty sure we have plenty of time. All right, let's go back this way. And explore all this. We're going to want to explore all this eventually anyway. Yeah, go this way. All right, that's explored. Go back.
I tire.
You're tired. Let's wait till everyone's tired.
I require rest.
All right, we'll rest. And we should make it back to Oleg soon. We have nothing else to explore over here. I think all the lines are filled in. We didn't get a hearty meal. That's okay. 2 Olegs. And I think this goes faster because we're walking on roads that we know well. Cool. Yes. Let's see if we get... I'm pretty sure we're not going to get enough experience to level up our level 2 characters to level 3. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to sell stuff. We will get some... Oh, here's Octavia. With a delighted smile, Octavia inhales the smell coming from Oleg's trading post. Fresh bread. I can't believe it. All this time we sat in cages and crawled in the mud. There were places in the world where they were baking fresh bread. And here we are. I bet they have clean sheets, and maybe we can even take a bath. Ha ha ha, a girl... Ha, it's so hard to read. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, a girl can dream. Get some rest. You deserve it. You can be sure of that. I've got years of rest to catch up on, and I'll be stuffing my face until I turn into a ball. You do so much for us. Is it all because you are kind, or maybe she flirts with us? Maybe it's because you've been charmed by my beauty? Halda doesn't swing that way. Halda's also like 3 times her age, so... although, no, she's an elf. Oh, no, she's a half-elf, so she could actually be really old. But, you know, biologically speaking, she's... elder. No, we're not going to say this one. What are you asking? We're friends, or I'm taking care of you because you're in my party now. We'll have to save each other in battle more than once. Yeah, I'm going to say this one. Forget about fighting for a moment. We all need a break, especially you. All right, enough talk. Fresh bread and clean sheets await. I mean, Halda is super charming. I can't blame her. But it is a little bit of a, I wouldn't say grave robbing. Halda's not venerable age, but, you know, she is gray-haired. She's a gray-haired lady. Okay. We have a visitor, Joe Kafkin, a venerable priest of Aristil. He wants a word with us. Yes. Didn't we already speak with him? I thought so.
Godspeed.
There's Tristian. Let's talk with him again. Tell me about yourself, Tristian. About myself, I wouldn't know where to begin. You know my name, my faith. I follow Saren Ray, and I have traveled from the Padishah Empire of Kalesh to here. What else do you want to know? Okay. Forgive me, your manner and appearance, you don't strike me as a Kaleshite. You have nothing to apologize for. I have received my name and appearance from my parents who had come to Kalesh from afar. I never knew them, for the fate had separated us when I was young, so I grew up in Kalesh, raised by the followers of Sarenrae. My home is where my heart is, within the temples of the great goddess, among the wise and generous men that took upon themselves the care of a child that was so unlike them. I learned mercy and patience at an early age, and it is these virtues that made me the man I am today. Do you enjoy traveling? His eyes light up. Oh, yes! No library and no archive, however large, would have ever allowed me to learn as much of the world as I have in my journeys. It was only outside the temple walls I realized every living thing in a world unto themselves, a world where many contradictions and passions coexist. Each realm leaves its mark on the lives that live there. Only by visiting it, by breathing the same air, walking on the same soil, can you understand its people, what drives them, what frightens them, their dreams, how they honor their gods. Doesn't being outside the temple make you uncomfortable? There are many ways to honor one's gods, Halda Olaru. It is true shrines play a role in the lives of many of the faithful, but even more find other ways to serve Sarenrae. And it's true we may end up serving Sarenrae, even though we don't really worship Sarenrae. Sarenrae is a good god. The healing light values good deeds above all else. I cannot stand by and watch evil claim others. He raises an eyebrow. Perhaps this is another reason why I chose to go on my pilgrimage, leaving behind the temples of Kalesh. So Tristian is going to be a really nice addition to our party, even though he's probably never going to travel with us. He makes sense to be following Halda. My faith is in my heart and in my hands. Millions honor Sarenrae and her temples, and my soul is filled with joy when I think of their devotion to the goddess. Nevertheless, my path is a different one. Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it, for my mission here is not done yet. Why do you ask? Do you wish me to leave your lands? To the contrary, I hope you'll stay with me as long as you can. The thought of you leaving is not a welcome one. Yeah, let's say that. He nods, smiling. I, too, would not welcome the thought of leaving you. My apologies. I don't know what came over me. I simply wanted to say that I won't leave you until you ask me to. And I hope that won't happen. Oh, his face. Oh, he's flirting with us now. I mean, it's a bit of a, autumn, winter, summer romance, spring, summer. Let's discuss something else. I mean, it's definitely more in the realm of possibility than Octavia. This is not something I had considered. But I guess Octavia... No, what am I thinking? Halda is married. I totally slipped my mind for a brief second. Halda is married. We're not entertaining this romance. Halda would never cheat on her husband, even though they are estranged. Tristian lowers his head. Forgive me if my stories have bored you. I am not accustomed to speaking about myself, and in truth, take little enjoyment in it. What can you tell me of Sarenrae? She's the goddess of temperance and patience. She teaches us compassion for the weary and mercy to those who go astray. What would you like to know of her? History of your faith? There's much to tell, but I'm afraid I would miss the mark, and I fear I would bore you. Is there something specific you wish to know? How did she come to be? She's one of Galarian's eldest deities. Once she was an angel that had gathered the armies of her celestial allies behind her. The battle in which she showed her valor decided the fate of a whole world, and in her victory, she was rewarded with divinity. In the sacred texts, Sarenrae is shown as a beautiful bronze-skinned maiden, her hair dancing flame. But her appearance is not what matters. It is the grace she brings with her touch, healing and salvation. Tell me about the battle you mentioned. What was the act of valor of Sarenrae? Her greatest moment of glory is her battle against the monstrous Rovagug, who threatened to destroy Galarian. Sarenrae delivered the strike that staggered the horrendous creature and allowed her allies to shackle it. Once the rough beast was captured, the goddess split the earth and the gods threw the behemoth into the depths. Once it was done, the goddess sealed the pit and commanded her faithful to stay away from the scar that was left in the land. Cool. Very cool. Continue. Alas, mortal beings are imperfect. Not even the most faithful among us can always follow their deity's commandments, even when such commandments are meant to save the world and their followers. I, for one, pray the goddess is never again as furious as she was with Gormuz. Okay. You mentioned Gormuz. What happened to it? An error of faith, perhaps a lesson, but it speaks of the danger when one listens to mortal words and one stops listening to their faith. Sarenrae forbade her followers from coming near the place of Rovagug's imprisonment, but some of her priesthood misread her will and began to preach of a sacred place where the mightiest of temples dedicated to the goddess were to be constructed. The people listened to these sermons and went forth to the lands touched by Sarenrae's scimitar. On the scar that sealed the well, they founded Gormuz, a holy city that was to become the greatest monument to Sarenrae. Unsurprisingly, after the city was built, faithful from Galarian traveled there to worship. Sarenrae sent omens and visions, urging her followers to leave this dangerous place filled with the dark will of the shackled Rovagug. But in their pride, the people misinterpreted or ignored her signs altogether, for they had already come under Rovagug's influence. Finally, the goddess sent her herald to the city, but the fanatics killed him. Realizing the people had turned from her, the enraged goddess smote Gormuz, raising it from the face of Galarian with a single strike of her scimitar. Today, it is called a Pit of Gormuz, a well of pain and suffering. Tell me about that Pit of Gormuz. It's a great crevasse in eastern Casmaron. The lands surrounding it are dead, soaked in poison. The Pit of Gormuz seems bottomless unless someone dares to gaze into its depths. All who have dared tell of a strange, distant glow, a glow that followed them in their dreams ever since. Throughout all of history, the Pit of Gormuz has spawned creatures, hideous beasts of overwhelming power and driven only by one desire, to destroy everything they see. Some were defeated, such as the nightmarish Ulunat, whose carapace to this day towers above the capital of Osirian. Others proved too strong to be defeated by mortal hands. The most terrible of them all was Tarask, the Armageddon engine, who to this day lies dormant deep beneath Avestan. And a Tarask is a D&D monster. I guess it's not D&D IP, because this is Pathfinder. But Tarask is usually like the hardest monster in the D&D monster handbook. So it's like just a giant ancient monster. Avestan. Okay. Have wars ever been waged in Sarenrae's name? Alas, yes. Terrible battles were once fought between the followers of Nethys, Norgerber, and Sarenrae in the lands now known as Rahadum. To my shame, I must admit that the conflict was started by my brothers and sisters. They came to a foreign land to make way for their goddess's light with sword and fire. The calamity became known as the Oath Wars, a catastrophe that led the inheritors of Rahadum to deny all gods, banning all faiths from the lands. Alas, the mortal vessel is imperfect, and even a pure faith may be distorted by blind ambition. And great suffering may occur in its name. All right, let's ask about something else. Hold on one second. Okay. What are the teachings of Sarenrae? Solar Flame Goddess is the light of salvation, even to those who have been forsaken by other gods. She teaches us mercy and forgiveness for as long as they may be useful to a soul's salvation. You make it sound as if the followers of Sarenrae will try to find good even in a bandit with a knife to their throat. I mean, that wouldn't be surprising to Halda. Are there any undeserving of mercy? Yeah, are there any, legitimate question, are there any undeserving of mercy in Sarenrae's estimation? Undeserving of mercy. Would even Sarenrae herself find the compassion to... he went kind of trance-like there. Forgive me, your words, they're not easy ones to reconcile, and even priests such as I, we debate them to this day. What is the point at which a soul is irredeemable? Or is it a failing of the priests themselves? These are difficult questions, you ask, Halda Olaru. Questions wise men have debated for centuries. Does a being that has been tainted by evil to its very roots, that rejects its own salvation, still deserve compassion? Can those compelled to do evil by others still seek forgiveness? There is no easy answer on these issues among Sarenrae's followers. So yeah, Halda, as we just saw, enslaving someone, that's not, maybe the person would repent, but the person that Halda just killed, Kalana, they pretty much said that they were unrepentant and they would not repent of it. So that's why we killed them. As for me, I believe that every soul carries the potential for goodness within. No matter the crime, the guilty may find forgiveness if they repent and cast off the evil that led to the deed. I believe this with all my heart, Halda Olaru. What's the neutral good response? I like this idea, even though following through with it demands a lot of spiritual strength. I do not agree. There are crimes that cannot go unpunished. No, that's not really why she punishes people. She punishes people when they won't repent. There's good in everyone. One just has to look deep enough. Even those who feel lost or broken or unrepentant have light in their souls, and it's possible to help them see it. Never before have I met a person so noble in spirit. Senrei's blessing was upon me the day you came to my aid. I could see her saying the chaotic good response. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Well, I wouldn't force anyone against their will, although if it served a good purpose, he contemplates. No, I am not ready to make such a decision. You make it sound as if the followers of Serenrai will try to find good even in... No, we're not saying that. What are the duties as a follower? My goddess strives to see the best, even to the dark gods. She never abandons the hope of their redemption. The priests of Serenrai follow her teachings, akin to the healing light herself, who emanates warmth and heeds the call of those in need. We aid the suffering in body and spirit through Galarian. The priests of Serenrai are willing to help anyone, no matter the faith of the one in need. Each plea must be heard. Every misfortune deserves compassion, be it a peasant seeking a blessing for the harvest or a murderer seeking repentance the night before their execution. Sometimes the mercy of Solar Flame Goddess is the last thing that can save one's soul from ruin. We have no right to withhold it from the truly repentant. All right, let's talk about something else. How is Serenrai worshipped? Man, we're learning a lot about Serenrai. Many worship Solar Flame Goddess and her temples. Some make the pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis. But even those who do not serve the goddess directly rarely shun the festivities dedicated to her. The Sunrot Festival, for one. What is the Sunrot Festival? Well, it takes place on the day of the summer solstice, where the prayers of her flock can reach Serenrai the easiest. On this day, Kelesh blooms with color. In each corner of the Padishah Empire, the people praise their goddess by dancing and singing, setting off fireworks and flying kites. I hope the beautiful custom shall one day reach your lands as well, Halda Olaru. What is this everlasting oasis? I've never been there, but the stories say it's a wondrous place, sacred to Serenrai's faithful. The oasis is located in Zel-Shabar, which lies in Kazmaran. Pilgrims from throughout Galarian travel there, seeking the goddess's blessing. According to legend, the waters of the Everlight Oasis are imbued with healing properties, and anyone who bathes in them shall be cured of any ailment. Well, we have something like that ourselves at the Temple of the Elk. Just imagine a place where people from all around the world come together to worship. What stories they must share. And what are the temples of Serenrai like? Her shrines are open to the sky and to the goddess's life-bringing sunlight. Her light fills the temple, enshrouds the parish in warmth, and grants its blessings to all in need. In Kalesh, crowds gather during the services so that they all may feel the blessings of the goddess. The most ingenious devices are constructed by some of the faithful to please the goddess. I have seen a temple of Serenrai which housed a complicated array of mirrors, all to direct the light of the sun to the altar. Cool. The more I hear... No, we're not saying that. We don't believe that Serenrai is not worth a damn. We've heard enough of Serenrai. What brought you to these lands? I've heard rumors. They say the lands are cursed, and the curses are growing stronger, as if something is granting them power. I could not ignore such rumors. And what curses are you talking about? Do you not see? Every word uttered in a heat of argument turns into a prophecy here, just waiting to fulfill itself. And if it were only for the people, the land itself is seething with curses so ancient, their origins are impossible to trace. Take the abandoned Temple of Aristil where we met. What happened to it? What force compelled the priest to leave such a magnificent temple behind to the whims of nature? Will we ever know? I myself was nearly slain by beasts. Fortunately, you came along, following Jode, and saved me. I owe you a great debt. Yeah, why did Jode see you in his premonition? Serenrai sees all the good gods and goddesses as her allies. Many have fought alongside the goddess against the menace of Rovagug, Aristil among them. Probably also our god, who is Desna, would also be aligned with Serenrai, which is why we're totally fine with this. Although we're not particularly devout. By offering my prayer to Serenrai, I let her know my misfortune in the Temple of the Elk. The merciful goddess did not ignore my plea, but whom could have she asked for aid other than Aristil, whose faith is strong in these lands? Aristil had sent Jode a sign, and you came just in time to rescue me. To tell the truth, I was certain my journey was at an end, but those creatures were to be the death of me. Well, you came a great distance indeed. When you look at it that way, then yes, but please do not think that I came all the way from Kelesh because of mere curiosity. I was wandering long before that. It is a custom of our faith. The farther our paths take us, the more people we may help. You spent much time here. What do you think the future holds for these lands? Well, these are cruel lands. As I came here, I bore witness to much pain and suffering, but I have seen equal kindness among those seeking to protect themselves and their loved ones. The people of the stolen lands are resolute and true to themselves. I admire their strength. Alas, I do not yet know what powers the curses that flourish in this land, but I swear I will not leave until we have the answer and the means to cleanse them. You must forgive me for not swearing on Sarenrae's name, but of late I have troubled the goddess too much as it is, and it would be better to serve her through action, not prayer. You called yourself the Chosen of Sarenrae. What did you mean by that? Sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes at my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. And yet my faith is strong. Sarenrae knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers, I am transported to a safe location. Oh, so he basically has the exact same ability as Lindsay. Cool. Okay, I should go. Cool. Well, we learned a lot from him. I'm quick saving it, so we never have to hear all that again. Jode, let's talk to you.
How may I serve you?
We found the Temple of the Elk and killed a beast there.
Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation.
Scrolls have removed blindness, and, I bet those could come in handy at some point. And a decent amount of experience.
As far as I know, your next target looks to be the Stag Lord himself. Oof. With the Temple of the Elk cleansed of evil, the fog surrounding us should disperse to reveal the path to the brute's lair. Of course, magic so powerful is unlikely to disappear all at once. Bide your time. Follow up on other concerns while you wait.
Okay.
I will gladly aid you on your noble quest. Erastil himself foresaw our meeting.
Do you understand the true meaning of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself. Quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you, and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well.
You talk so slowly, Jode.
Christian is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristan and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the Stag God lead you down the true path.
So that's interesting. The text says Baroness. His voice acting did not. We're not a Baroness yet. We are not a Baroness. This might be a text mistake that they forgot to remove, because at this point in the game, we are not a ruler of a kingdom. We obviously will be at some point. That's kind of this game is called Kingmaker. All right, that's enough.
As you wish.
What services do you offer? Yeah, so we could buy some scrolls here. All right, the Temple of the Elk we've done. We could sell stuff to you. Yeah, offer. Because you like us. I wonder, so 226. Let's get out of this. Yeah, I don't want anything. Clear. Okay. 226, and would we get the same from Oleg? Probably. I mean, I'm almost certain. I just want to sanity check it. Yep. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll sell a bunch of stuff here. We're going to sell these masterwork longbows. Cool. I think we will sell this Wand of Expeditious Retreat. Oh. This is worth a lot, but it says it may be of interest to an antiquities expert. I wonder if you can get more money from it later. I think all of these tokens and stuff, I think I'm going to hang on to them. They do weigh stuff. which is a little annoying. Yeah, we're going to keep the scrolls. We'll keep that scroll. I think I will sell this just because it has weight, and I don't foresee myself using it. Oh, yeah, we can definitely sell that. That's just extra weight. Cool. Scrolls of Bane could be useful. Sort of. I mean, some potions I'm probably never going to use, honestly. Or scrolls. Okay. And we have books, but I think I'm going to put the books just in our chest. Okay. We'll come back to you to see if we want to buy anything, but we got a decent amount of money here. We now have over 2,000. Boken, anything from you? I don't think so, but just to make sure. Task list. So stolen land will fail in 63 days. So we've only wasted 5 days there. And as he said, the next big thing we need to do is defeat the Stag Lord. And that's what we need to do within that time. We are, of course, going to deal with Tartuccio and stuff in that time, but I think we have plenty of time. I think we've been going pretty well there. We did that. Find the Temple of the Elk is done. We got the nice big wax check mark there. Beautiful. All right. And we have 2 more PCs to talk to now. So we're going to find them and talk to them, and that might... Honestly, that might be the whole episode. If they talk as long as Sarenrae did, we may end up talking to PCs all episode. And that's okay. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But it would be nice to get back on the road and do some adventuring. And head to the old sycamore tree, because that is the next thing. Jaethal, you have anything new to talk to us? No. Talk to us about. I don't think there's anybody up here, but just make sure. Oh, Valerie. Yeah, nothing new with you. Okay.
Forwards.
I'll put some stuff in our stash while we go up there. Mainly the books, but we can see what else we have to get rid of as well. I don't know if we need those torches anymore. I think the only reason we're really keeping them is in case we need to fight swarms again, which I don't know if we will or not. At a certain point, it won't be worth carrying them around because our magic will be good enough to fight the swarms. And the torch does very, very little damage. More difficult swarms, the torch is not really a viable option. Okay. Okay. I think the other 2 must be inside. Hopefully they are. Well, Octavia met us outside. She's probably in here. None here. Maybe they're upstairs? Lindsay, you have anything new for us? No? Wait. Oh. Just don't leave without me. Of course, I could just write whatever you want. If I wanted to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd be sleeping through lectures at the academy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bring you with us. You're going to stay here, but I appreciate that thought. All right, just making sure no one has new stuff. Okay. Let's go upstairs and see if Octavia and that other guy, Regengar, they are here. Let's talk to them. Octavia. Whoa. Okay. Could you tell me about your childhood, please? Too little. Some scraps of memories, no more than that. What exactly do you remember? Nothing special, just some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint on them was peeling off, and I was standing on my toes, trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose by the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender. I guess that's all. Not much there, right? All the memories, it's not like they're mine at all. I recall some images, and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember what exactly I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with tasselworms. My life's good enough without them. What do you know about your parents? You're a half-elf, right? Am I? You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. They're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let me think about that logically. So my mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around, and my mother was, And then she starts laughing. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge pot belly and shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose, and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? One more riddle from my past that I don't care to solve. It must be horrible, being unable to recall your childhood. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was spent in a dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed, though I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably just bring me more pain. So it's good I don't remember much of anything. So Halda obviously would feel very compassionately for these former slaves. I want to ask about something else. Will you tell me about your life in slavery? I don't like to recall it, but if you insist. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do was ruin my childhood. How did you happen to find yourself in the Stolen Lands? Well, my enslavers from the Technic League funded a large expedition into the Stolen Lands. 100 agents, tens of slaves, wagons. We were to search for some ancient artifacts or ancient ruins. Our group never made it to the Technic League hideout. Along the way, it was attacked by the future owners of the Stolen Lands herself, and I'll be forever grateful to her for it. She winks cheerfully. Did you have many masters over the years? Yes, many of them. Some owned me for years. Others felt they'd had enough of me in a couple of months. Trust me, I did all I could to make every master eager to get rid of me. A slave that's trained in magic is a rather expensive thing, so they wouldn't kill me. At least that was the hope. So I drooled, I played an idiot, and I listened as every new master argued with my former one trying to return me. Sometimes I punctured the pages of magic books I was forced to copy with a quill. Other times I pretended to mix up the spells, so instead of lighting a magic torch, I set dozens of dancing lights floating just below the ceiling. Of course, most of these tricks of mine usually ended badly. I got punished on a regular basis. My back still remembers the master's whips, though all my scars from those times are long gone. Where did you learn to use magic? Oh, I was taught magic by Janusz of Starfall, one of the most famous wizards in Numeria. Maestro Janusz, as he insisted on calling himself, or is it Janusz? Is this the same person that Lindsay was telling us about? Anyone would be happy to learn from such a great master, as only a talentless bitch like me would dare to reject his teachings and indulge in her laziness. At least that's what Maestro Janusz used to repeat constantly while whipping knowledge into my back. The great Maestro was a big fan of punishment. The Technic League didn't care if a few slaves died under the master's whip, as long as Maestro Janusz provided an arcane trained one in return. Officially, there's no slavery in Numeria, but the Technic League is above any law. A slave with any aptitude for the arcane is worth much more than a regular one. The slave's repertoire is limited to the simplest and safest spells, of course. Yeah, so the Technic League obviously is not going to be above our law when we are baroness. Have you ever tried to run away? What a silly question. Of course I tried. As soon as we even saw the tiniest opportunity to get free, Reg and I grabbed for it. On one occasion, we jumped from the cart into the river. There was a time when we spent weeks trying to dismantle the far wall of the barracks and make a path out. Sometimes we attacked our guards when they least expected it. We craved freedom. We lived only to dream about it. Those short days, sometimes weeks, that we spent on the run were the happiest days of my life. We used to hide in the woods or blend in with the crowd on the streets of Starfall. Midnight stars were our guiding lights, and we shared our dream with them to reach the river kingdoms. For in these lands there were neither slaves nor masters. We were starving and freezing, but that was the real life. Too bad it usually ended too soon. The Technic League agents always found us in the end. I don't know how they managed to do it. They probably used magic, or maybe it was just our fate. They whipped us and returned us to our old masters, or sold us to new ones. If the old ones refused to pay, so we were slaves again, but the dream about river kingdoms never left our hearts. Have your masters ever hurt you? You figured that out, did you? Or maybe you just wanted to hear all about the beatings I survived, the humiliations I've endured. Imagine the worst thing one person can do to another and multiply it tenfold. That's what happened to me nearly every day in slavery. Masters, oh how I hate that word, they punished me because they wanted to hurt me. But what hurt even more was the mere fact of their existence. Wait, I want to tell you. The Technic League agents you rescued us from, Reg and I tried to run away many times, but they always managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this time they've lost track of us for good. We can say, I won't let anyone harm those who are dear to me. Whatever happens, you can count on me. I won't let those filthy slave traders to take you again. Just let them try. While you're with us now, I'm confident I should be able to make a deal with them, or I never throw away valuable resources. They won't get you. I think we'd say, I won't let those filthy slave traders try to take you again. Just let them try. Yes, we'll chase them to the border and won't see them through the dust. Suddenly she frowns. Still, I'd like to find them first. I agree, Octavia. I agree. What kind of relationship do you have with Ragongar? Ragongar? I don't know what. We're together. The way you said we're together sounds unconvincing. Is something wrong? Oh, you've noticed? Well, I didn't mean that. Now I'll have to explain. I'm not sure I know how to put it correctly. You see, Reg seems to treat me like his property. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together or when we share a blanket at the campsite, but he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, that I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. I bet he likes to think that I'm his. Never mind, though. I'll sort it out somehow. And when did you meet him? Years ago, when I was studying magic at Maestro Janusz's, Reg was his student too. Though you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg always had his own ways to cast spells. He never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws power directly from his innate bloodline abilities. So Reg is a sorcerer. Janusz didn't realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student. And when he finally understood them, he taught the negligent half-orc to control his powers, to avoid harming himself or the others. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but more importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other that someday we'd break free from the unbearable captivity or die trying together. I guess it's good that we fulfilled only the first part of that vow. You owe him much? I don't like this "owe" word. I don't owe anything to anybody. Everything I do of my own free will. But to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. I can't count how many times he was whipped by his masters because of me, how many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten and covered in blood, to the slave barracks. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy clothing. We've always been together, my whole life, as slaves and as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him. The fact that he's so impulsive doesn't bother you? Well, that's a very delicate matter. Reg means a lot to me, and he endured a lot for me, but some parts of him just scare me. He becomes extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. Don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart, and I'll do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth. But Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in him. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times, but he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier about our conversations. All right. We're not flirting with Octavia, so we're going to not say the one about her looking gorgeous. You worship Calistria, right? Yes. Many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some even offered deals to the evil gods. But me and Reg, Calistria has taught us the most important things. Expect no gifts from above, rely only on ourselves. Never forgive those who wronged us, but at the same time, savor every drop of pleasure we could squeeze from our bleak days. It's amazing how, after all your hardships, you still remain so cheerful and optimistic. I try not to view my life as never-ending course of suffering. Yes, I've had my share of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, along with all the bad things, I have had some good things as well. I had a dream, and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following that path, I met Reg and you. Now I'm free and surrounded by friends. Why do you need to find the Technic League agents? I broke free from slavery. Thanks to you, I've obtained everything I dreamed of, my freedom and the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technic League, at least the part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves from the Technic League masters. Awesome. I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot, even this. Excellent. All right, we'll talk later. Sure, come anytime. All right, and I think after we talk to Ragongar, that'll probably be the episode, but we're going to do it. All right. What do you want? Have a little chat? All right, it's not like we have anything better to do. Tell me about yourself. What is there to know? I was born, I'm alive, haven't died yet. That enough for you? Do you remember your childhood? What a crap question. I was just a kid when they sold me. Before that, I don't remember much. Smoky fires, stinky hides, always bumping along on a horse. I think I was born in one of the Kelid tribes of Numeria. There are many. Some survive on their own, some give up their pride and serve the Technic League. I guess mine was one of the cowards, if they sold their own kids. I remember my father's hands, rough, scarred, white. So I guess I get this green skin from my mother? I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child, a brother maybe. So for some reason they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave him his dagger to play with, never gave it to me. I don't want to remember. Forget all this. I'm an orphan. I grew up a slave, that I remember well. So many things burned into my memory. Most of all, I remember her, my Octavia. Today we are almost the same age, but back then she was twice as young as me, just a child. But a brave one, cunning, bold, and beautiful. The most beautiful girl in the world. So what deity do you worship? I never got much help from the gods so far, but if you made me choose, I'd say Calistria. Who else could I worship? The sacred sting, the goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge. Oh, yes. All right. Where'd you get your magic powers? What magical powers? The hells are you talking about? Oh, you mean these? And his lightning runs over his hands with a smile. I've had them since I was born. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me to slavery. Think they were scared? Who knows? Damn Numerians. At the Technic League, they drew my blood, did experiments, burned me with fire, tortured me with cold, electricity. And they told me, you won't believe it, they told me I have blue dragon blood in my veins. Not bad, huh? I'm a dragon. You freaks. Come check my blood if you dare. So I guess that means he gets some electricity powers from that. What do your tattoos mean? They're magical. They help me control my powers. The Technic League gave them to me. I'd hope that somewhere on my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe, but no. I guess they didn't care to bother. To hell with them. They better hope I never find them. If I ever meet my father, I'll even the score between us. How do you manage to use both a sword and magic and not cut off your fingers? It's simple. I'm just that bloody good. Do you enjoy making people suffer? Why should I care about their suffering? I do what I want. And if I step on somebody's toes, then they shouldn't have to put themselves in my way. But chasing down someone just to torture them, that's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second thought, for them I would make an exception. I'd love to watch as I fry them nice and slow. But why do you ask? Do my methods shock you? So the neutral good action, if you treat your enemies like that, what makes you better than them? It seems that you're no more than a common felon. No, we wouldn't say that. So long as you're in my party, try to control yourself. I don't like meaningless atrocities. We could say that. But you know what? I think I will actually do the neutral good response here. I for one no, we don't enjoy the torment of others. No, we're gonna go for the neutral good response here. And why would you think I want to be better? What does that even mean? I have no delusions of purity. I don't need to prove myself or my enemies that I'm better than them, morally, spiritually, whatever. I just want them rotting in the ground so I can live, drink wine, and piss on their graves. All right, thank you for your answers. Thanks, don't fill a purse. Just kidding. Tell me about your life in Numeria. You mean my life as a slave? I didn't see much except for the slave barracks and the League's twisted laboratories. So how'd you become a slave? I was sold by my own tribe when I was just a little brat. So I grew up in a slave barracks. I was raised to be sold like a battle animal. They tried to break me, but they picked the wrong brat. No matter how much you beat this animal, he only gets angrier. Why did your masters teach you the magic? The magic. Magic. Can't you guess? Because magic's in my blood. It's why they bought me. I wasn't raised as some lowly mop slave, but as a murder machine. I'd fetched quite a nice sum of gold. You might also ask if they knew I'd take the first opportunity to rip out their own guts, using everything they taught me. Ha! Of course they did, but that's the Technic League. They calculate risk. Octavia kept pretending to be simple-minded, so they wouldn't expect anything of her, but I made every effort, though they didn't teach me much. What is there to teach? It's not book magic, it's innate. They made me practice with my sword more, but I did my best in everything. I studied all I could. They knew they were raising an enemy, but they thought they could keep me on a short leash. or sell me to someone with deep pockets so I become someone else's problem. But who won in the end, huh? Who's free? Who will bury them all? What else did you see beyond your life in chains? What could I have seen? Well, when we ran, we went through Starfall. That's a fine city. Big, loud, many merchants, things to see, things to steal. But I didn't have much chance to walk around. It's the very nest of the sodding Technic League. We were more focused on getting out alive. We met some barbarians. I asked them who might know what tribe I'm from, but they didn't know anything. I don't have any tribal tattoos, nothing. Actually, they're all right. Well, some of them. The Bloodgars, for one, they're great. All the rivers are theirs. We sailed with them during one of our escapes, almost all the way to Brevoy, and they didn't turn us in. But the White Scars got us after that. Those guys are, well, they sold their pride to the Technic League. Oh, one more thing. One time Octavia and I tried to escape and stumbled across a Numerian monster. I'll never forget it. A huge spider, the size of a house, made of metal. Whoa. Spitting fire, shooting deadly rays all around. That thing could probably tear even a dragon to pieces. Ruined our escape plans, too. We had to go back. Did you and Octavia try to escape? What do you think? Of course we tried. I stopped counting how many times. Jumped from windows, dug tunnels, choked out guards, or seduced them. That happened too. But those dirtbags caught us every time. Every bloody time. My back is covered with whip scars. Lucky we were prized property. They'd spent too much gold on us to kill us. Anyone else would have been hung and forgotten, but they kept trying to break us and recoup their expenses. I don't know whether I could have survived by sheer stubbornness if it weren't for Octavia. I probably couldn't have. I would have just given up and died, but I had to pull my girl out of that meat grinder, and she believed in me and had enough hope for both of us. When I lay there with my back slashed to pieces, she whispered to me about river kingdoms, when there was no slavery, where everyone can go wherever they want and take whatever they want. I'll be damned, but I thought she was just making this up to keep our hopes alive, and now it turned out to be true. All of it, every last word. No chains, no slaves, no laws, just live and be happy. Is slavery legal in Numeria? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There are some laws against it, but even in Starfall, 1/3 of the people live in bondage, and that's the capital. In regions where the Black Sovereign's hand doesn't reach, they hold to tribal customs instead of laws. The barbarians don't keep slaves. Instead, they have thralls. Big bloody difference. And on top of all that mess, there's the Technic League. Laws and customs mean nothing to those slime balls. They just take whatever and whoever they want. All right, thanks for your answers. What kind of relationship do you have with Octavia? Well, my Octavia and I don't have a relationship. We have a life together. All right, how do you meet? How did you meet? Back when we were children, we were taken as apprentices by a great spellmaster, Janusz. Maestro Janusz, he called himself. He was our teacher. Well, he made Octavia read books and memorize spells. I have my own innate magic. He trained me a bit, taught me how to control my gifts so I wouldn't lose control and incinerate myself like a dumbass. Oh, teacher, we will meet again. There's one more test I must pass. But you were asking about my Octavia. We've been living together all our lives. She learned everything. We learned everything together. How to weave magic and how to survive. As we grew older, we learned how to love. Without each other, we never would have gotten out of there, that's for sure. We would have given up and surrendered to death. But together, that's a very different story. Not the first time, and not the 10th, but eventually we made out. Why do you call her yours? She doesn't seem to like that very much. My girl loves freedom so much, and even a slight change of losing it frightens her. She is so smart. You really think she feels like I'm trying to make her mine, like an apple stolen at a market? Me who was skinned alive for trying to help her escape? If she's afraid of the word my, it's because she doesn't understand the difference between my boots and my heart. But she will understand, sooner or later. Are you and Octavia faithful to each other? Octavia and I are connected, and this connection cannot be broken. We grew into each other. You know, jealousy is for weak cowards who don't trust each other and are scared of being tricked. If a knight on the side threatens your love, that just means there was no real love there to begin with. So it's good that he's not jealous of Octavia, because that means we might need to intervene there, but I guess they're cool with each other. She and I are together to the end, and we will never part from each other. So when she likes some lad or some lass, it's no drama to me. I just ask her whether she wants me to leave them alone or join in, and she does the same. What, are you judging us? Or maybe you want to join us in our tent, I'm not here to judge, just curious. You asked, I answered. When you pry into others' lives, don't be surprised if you find something that will keep you up at night. Haha. All right, I have to go. So long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when I answer. All right. So we've talked to everybody now. Let's put the books we have away. And I'll keep that. That doesn't weigh anything. Anything else we want to put away? Any weapons? We could put the torches. We have 6 camping supplies. We have 123 pounds of stuff. That's not too bad. I think we're okay. I think we're okay keeping this all with us. Yeah, this stuff doesn't weigh anything. All right. And before we end, let's look at these new characters. So, we have Octavia, who is level 2, really. You're actually a lower level than our other characters. Both of you. That is interesting. Although not Tristian. Why did these guys start at a lower level? Huh. That is very interesting. I don't know why that is. I don't know why they have this amount of experience. But Octavia is a multi-class. You are half rogue, half wizard, which is cool. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to add you to the party, but you've got really good dexterity and really good intelligence. Super good intelligence. Cool. And Rajangar, who knows? Hopefully someone will say it at some point. You're really good strength. Excellent strength. Not as good as no, better than Stormfoot. But you are not a barbarian. You are a Eldritch Scion, which is not an archetype class I'm familiar with. But it sounds like you're a combination, basically like a mage blade. You use a scimitar, but you can also cast sorcerer spells, I believe. Yeah. You can cast spells and fight at the same time. But the thing is, you probably don't do either. The thing about, like, archetype classes like this is you do both of them in a kind of middling way. I mean, with 19 strength, you're going to be really good at melee regardless, but the feats you get and the abilities you have aren't going to help you with that. They're going to mostly help you with the synergizing between spells and attacking, which might be really powerful, but we have no reason to keep Rajangar in our party. Oh, and there's Tristian, who we already know that Tristian is I thought he was just a cleric, but he is an archetype. He is an ecclesiathurge, which I don't know what that does. I mean, it's a cleric archetype. I don't know exactly what that gives you, but that's cool. But you're a cleric archetype. You have some kind of abilities regarding that class. And again, it would be nice to have a cleric in the party, but I think I still really like having Jaethal in our party. Okay, so next episode, I think we're going to head straight to the old Sycamore. I don't think we have anything else that we need to do there. Can I see the world map from here? No. That's okay. But yeah, I think we're going to do that next time. And that is going to be a big adventure. So look forward to that. I really enjoyed playing with you today. And I'll see you then next time. Bye, everybody.